Hey guys, CJ here, and welcome back to another all-new and almost exclusively DC-oriented Hybrid News Now. Sadly, I'm still not able to jump on camera just yet, but hopefully that'll be all fixed up by tomorrow. And in the meantime, I want to encourage all of you to vote in the 2016 Comic Awards and watch live this Friday, January 15th. But without further ado, let's get down to the news. Our top story today is regarding the recently rumored third villain in Batman v Superman, but it's a rumor that would be interesting to see if it holds true. Latino Review is reporting that the mysterious third villain is none other than Bizarro. But how can this be? Well, in the New 52, Bizarro is a clone of Superman created by Lex Luthor that kind of goes awry, and it stands to reason that Luthor, as he created Doomsday with Zod's body, might be able to do the same with Superman. Now, from the article, it doesn't seem like the newly minted League would actually be fighting Bizarro in BVS, rather that he would kind of just appear and would be set up as the villain for Justice League Part 1. The more interesting thing about this theory is that Latino Review is really confident in this theory, and while they don't betray their sources, they're claiming that this isn't just some rumor cooked up by stringing together bits of other information, rather insisting that he will appear in BVS. They literally say this isn't a rumor, he will appear in Batman vs. Superman like it's confirmed, but no one else is saying that right now. Personally, I'm really not sure how I feel about it. I mean, if you have Luthor create both Doomsday and Bizarro, I feel like that just kind of retreads the same ground a little too much, and I'd really rather they shake things up a little bit more than that. But if it's done well, Bizarro could set up to be an interesting showdown for the Justice League, just as they were starting to feel okay about their Kryptonian pal. And on to our next story of the day. Staying in the DC Films vein, The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that Amber Heard is in talks to play Mera, Queen of Atlantis and wife of Aquaman. And this would give her the female lead opposite Jason Momoa in the standalone Aquaman movie, but Heard's Mera, like so many others, would first appear in 2017's Justice League. And Heard has been in a ton of movies over her career, but is probably best known for stuff like Zombieland, Pineapple Express, and Drive Angry. But if you want to check her out in theaters now, she stars in The Danish Girl with Eddie Redmayne and Alicia Vikander. And we'll have more on this story, of course, as it develops and if Heard officially signs on for the role. Moving on to our last story of the day, Agent Carter Season 2 is fast approaching, much to my joy, as I absolutely loved the first season. However, while the show was very kind of grounded and noir through its first run, things look like they're going to get a little bizarre as the show moves to LA. Just a day after a rumor went around that the show would include a tie-in to Doctor Strange, showrunner Michelle Fazekas addressed the rumor and talked about the show's connection to, of all things, the Dark Force, which the show will refer to first as Isodyne. Let's take a look at her quote. That's what Isodyne is, and what you'll learn is that they were involved in nuclear testing out in the desert when they were testing at the time they were calling it the atom bomb. And one of these tests didn't go as expected. You'll learn more about that in Season 2, but they stumble upon what people in the Marvel Universe will know as Dark Force, but because they've never seen it before, they just name it Zero Matter. That's our tie-in to the Doctor Strange universe, and also to S.H.I.E.L.D., because you've seen it in S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. Now, the S.H.I.E.L.D. tie-in was, of course, the villain Blackout from Season 1, but the Doctor Strange tie-in remains to be seen, of course, because the movie doesn't release until later this year. But if I had to hazard a little bit of an uneducated guess, I would say it might have something to do with the Dark Dimension, as Kevin Feige was just talking about that last week. In any event, we'll know more about Agent Carter when the show airs on January 19th. So, that wraps it up for the news today. Don't forget to vote, as well as liking and subscribing for more comic book and movie news every weekday afternoon. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.